we've added the ability to create a restaurant, but we haven't added any sort of functionality to either update it or delete it. And so when we start thinking about who do we want to be able to edit or delete a restaurant, I'm thinking we need to create an admin role. So what we'll want to do is create an admin attribute to our users so that only a user who is an admin is able to edit or delete a restaurant. So what we'll need to do is go into our terminal and generate a migration, add admin to users. Now go into our text editor here and add column to users, an admin, get a Boolean field, and default is false. So this is just basically saying that we're going to add a Boolean field to our users table called admin, and by default it's going to be turned off. It's going to be false, and a Boolean value is really just a true-false statement. So now if we do db migrate, let's go into our editor, make sure that it's there. So Boolean admin default is false. Fantastic. Now let's go take a look at our restaurant and see where we want to put all of these buttons here, or these links. So I'm thinking what we'll want to do is put an edit and delete button right next to the name here. So let's go into the show page. We have our restaurant name, and let's do small equals link to edit. Let's go to our rake routes, see what our edit path is again. So we have our restaurants and we want to edit. So it's right here, edit restaurant. Edit restaurant path. And we need to add some classes into it to make it a button. Default mini, I believe. There you go. So now we have an edit button here. And let's do the same for destroy or delete. Remember, every time you do a delete, you need to do a method delete. And actually, let's change it so that it's not primary, it's danger. There you go. Now if we click on edit, it's going to say that we don't have an edit action. We need to go into our restaurants controller, down at the bottom here, edit, and we need to set the find. We need to figure out which restaurant we want to edit, so we then have to do restaurant find params ID, just like we did up here in the show action. Do a refresh. Not so long as we don't have a template. So we go into our app, views, restaurants, add an edit.html ERB file, and there we have it. Now what we can do is excuse me, what we can do is follow or just pretty much copy paste what we have in the new file here, and that should work for us. Add restaurant. Let's see what we have here. I call it restaurants. Call it restaurant, and there we have it. This is the edit page. And if we make an edit here, let's just call it get rid of the S here and update it. But now it's going to tell us we don't have an update action. So we need to create an update, and we also need to figure out which one we are going to update. and restaurant update with the restaurant params, redirect to that restaurant. So now do a refresh. There you go. The S is gone. Let's just go back and add it in there. Fantastic. Now let's do the delete action. So we can destroy it. Click on it. It's going to tell us we don't have a destroy action. Destroy at restaurant. So you need to keep doing this here. Find the restaurant here. Oh, let's just do that. Restaurant destroy, redirect to the home page. Now if we do a refresh, there you go. Let's take a look for American, and McDonald's is gone. All right. So there, that's how you do an edit and delete. I'm trying to think if we want to add some information here. So we could do data confirm. Are you sure you want to delete? So now if we do a refresh here, oh, you put a comma in there. Now it's going to ask us, are you sure you want to delete? So it's always nice to kind of have a confirmation message show up anytime you're doing some sort of destroy or delete action. So it's good to have that there. So you can always double check to make sure that the admin wants to delete it. Now, how do we only have this shown to admins? First, we can say if current user is admin, show these things. Else, you don't have to show them anything. You can just leave it blank. Undefined method. What we can do here is do a try admin. There you go. There you go. So we have to use the try admin because we aren't currently logged in. So it's not going to know who the current user is. Or it's not going to know how to check to see if the current user is the admin. So this try method here basically just allows Rails to do that, the application to figure out, okay, if the current user, whether or not they're logged in, let's see if they are an admin. All right. Now, this isn't enough, right? Because we don't want people to be able to hack their way around this. We need to control this in the controller so that we for sure make sure that the user has to be an admin in order to edit or delete this. We can't just hide the links because a good hacker would know how to get their way around that. So in our controller here, what we can do is say before action, which is admin, and we're going to define this right now only for edit, update, destroy. And down here in our private actions is admin. If say current user is not an admin, redirect to root path. You can flash a danger message and say user, you must be, you are not authorized to edit or delete let's do this before and then end it. So it's basically saying if the current user is not an admin, redirect them to the root path and give them this message. Now how do we test that? Well, let's remove this if else statement here just for now. Do a refresh. Now try to edit it. Undefined. If current user does not equal an admin, that should work for us. Before filter is admin is admin. Let's do an edit. Undefined method admin for nil class. You know what? We have to do this again. Try admin. There you go. You are not authorized to edit or delete. So again, we have to add that try admin here. So if we go to Wendy's and try to edit it, you're not authorized to edit or delete. So it works for us. So even though we're hiding those links, if they're not an add-on, we still want to put it in the controller so that hackers can't get through and just enter in the URL to edit or delete. So now let's put that if else statement back so that it's not there. Now let's sign in as Bob because we made him an admin and make sure he gets it. Did we make him an admin? Let's see. Oh, we did not. So let's make Bob an admin right now. So we can say a equals user.first, a.update, and admin equals true. Now if we do a refresh, there you go. So Bob is an admin, so we see the links, and we're able to edit and delete. Now let's sign in as Joe, our other user, and he should not be able to see any of that. So there you go. Fantastic. If we try to do an edit here, I don't think it will get anything. You are not authorized to edit or delete. Fantastic. So we know that our view works, that we're able to hide the links from anybody who's not an admin, and we know that in our controller that we've actually truly blocked off the edit, update, and destroy actions from anybody who's not an admin. So that's how you add a little bit of authorization. We added an admin boolean here to our user's model. We created some links here but hid them if the user is not an admin, and we added some actions here, or some before action method here of is admin, saying that if you're not an admin, then you cannot edit, update, or destroy these restaurants. Now we could actually add that here as well. Just for double measure to say, hey, you have to at least be logged in order to edit, update, or destroy. So it just adds a little bit more security to your application, that you're authenticating that the user is logged in first before they take any of these actions, and at the same time, are they an admin in order to do any of these right here. So it just adds some extra security. So that's how you add admin authorization to your application.